All right, let's dive into a really fascinating everyday mystery. It's about something you do all the time without even thinking about it, rocking. But what happens when you try to do it with your eyes closed? You are going to be surprised by the answer.
Seriously, give it a thought. Picture yourself in a big open field, maybe a long empty hallway. You close your eyes, you really focus, and you just walk forward. Sounds like the easiest thing in the world, doesn't it? You probably think, yeah, I could totally nail that. Well, I'm here to tell you, it doesn't matter how good your sense of direction is, you can't. Not in a truly straight line, anyway. And the reason why reveals something absolutely incredible about how our brains and our bodies are wired together.
Okay, so first, let's break down what's actually going on when we try this little experiment. I like to call it the straight line illusion because that feeling you have of walking straight, it's just that, an illusion. The second you shut your eyes and start walking, your path just falls apart. You'll start to veer, drifting in these gentle arcs that get wider and wider. Some people will literally walk in a complete circle and end up right back where they started, with no idea it even happened. In your head, you're on a perfectly straight line, but your body is out there drawing curves. So why on earth does this happen? Well, the first and most obvious culprit in this whole mystery is losing your number one guide, your eye sign. You see, vision is pretty much everything for navigation. Just think of it like your brain's anchor out in the world. When your eyes are open, you're constantly locking onto reference points. That tree over there, the corner of a building, the horizon. Your brain is making thousands of tiny micro-corrections every single second to keep you on track. It's this seamless, constant feedback loop you're not even aware of. So here's the critical question. What happens when you pull that visual anchor up? You close your eyes, and suddenly it's gone. What does your brain use instead? What's the backup plan? Well, without your eyes, your brain has to turn inward. It starts listening to the body's own navigation tools. But here's the catch. That internal compass we have, it's not exactly perfect. Your brain basically switches over to two main backup systems. The first one is called proprioception. That's kind of your internal body map. It's a sense of where your arms and legs are without having to look at them. And the second is your vestibular system, deep inside your inner ear, which handles your balance. Together, they're a pretty sophisticated team. But here's the plot twist. Unlike the crystal clear input you get from your eyes, these internal senses have tiny, built-in flaws and biases. When your eyes are open, you'd never ever notice them because your vision just corrects for them instantly. But in the dark, suddenly, they're running the whole show.
And this is where it gets really interesting. Those tiny, almost insignificant flaws, they don't stay small for long. They start to add up, one on top of the other, creating this kind of snowball effect. This process actually has a name. It's called sensory drift, and it is the absolute key to understanding why you walk in circles. It's all about that snowball of tiny, tiny errors. So here's how it works. Let's say your right leg is just a tiny fraction stronger than your left. With every single step, you push off just a little bit harder on that side. It's a difference so small you'd never feel it. But without your eyes to tell your brain, hey, we're starting to drift a bit to the left, that little error never gets fixed. So the next step adds another tiny error, and the next one, and another. And slowly but surely, that straight line turns into a big looping curve. And look, this isn't just a theory. Scientists have tested this over and over again. They take blindfolded volunteers out into a huge open space and just say, walk straight. And the result is always the same. They invariably walk in curves, sometimes even tight circles, often ending up right back where they started, completely baffled and swearing they walked a straight line. Which brings us to the most mind-bending part of this whole thing. If your body is literally walking in circles, why is your brain so convinced it's walking perfectly straight? It's because your brain is an absolute master storyteller. When it doesn't have good, reliable info coming in from the outside, like from your eyes, it doesn't just throw its hands up. It fills in the gaps with what it expects to be happening. Your intention was to walk straight, right? So your brain just creates the feeling, the memory that you did. It would rather tell a consistent story than admit to the messy, curved reality.
So you might be thinking this is some kind of flaw, like a bug in our human software. But it's not. To really understand why we're built this way, we have to zoom out, way out. This all goes back to our evolutionary history. We are, above all else, visual creatures. Our primate ancestors evolved swinging through the crazy three-dimensional world of treetops where eyesight was absolutely life or death. So, unlike a bird that can feel Earth's magnetic field or a turtle that can see polarized light to navigate, our lineage bet everything on vision. Our brains are optimized for a world we can see.
So the real takeaway here is actually pretty profound. The fact that you can't walk straight with your eyes closed isn't a failure. It's a powerful demonstration of how you are fundamentally designed. It reveals just how deeply your sense of direction is welded to your sense of sight. It's a feature, not a bug.
And, this whole phenomenon is actually a pretty amazing metaphor for life. Just like we need those visual anchors to walk a straight physical path, we need anchors in life, our goals, our values, the people we rely on. Without them, we can drift too. We might feel like we're moving forward, but all those little biases and uncorrected errors can slowly pull us way off course.
So I'll just leave you with this to think about. We all have anchors we use to find our way through the world, visual ones for walking and metaphorical ones for living. The next time you're just out and about, think about that. Without your anchors, where would you drift?